Dear students, today we'll discuss unit number 10, Heaven if we are not here on earth, from your course book. It's a poem. It is written by Kuvempu. K.V. Puttappa is known by the pen name Kuvempu. He is the greatest poet of the 20th century Kannada literature. He is the first among 8 recipients of Jnanapita Award for Kannada. Kuvempu is revered as Rashtrakavi. He is a national poet. He was conferred Padma Vibhushana by Government of India. He has penned the Karnataka state anthem Jaya Bharata Jananiya Tanujati. This poem is originally written in Kannada language. It has been translated by Dr. C. Naganna, a well-known poet, critic and translator. This poem defines heaven in an altogether different perspective. The poet reconstructs and reinvents the traditional concept of heaven by realizing that heaven can be created on the earth with human efforts and by living in harmony with his fellow beings. Just look at the first 2 lines of the poem. Heaven, if you are not here on earth, where else could you be? The poet addresses heaven. If heaven is not on the earth, where else could you be? According to the poet, heaven is on earth only. Heaven is not a place which is far away from the earth. So we know that the traditional concept of heaven, that it is somewhere located above the earth, above the sky. But according to the poet, heaven is only on earth. Next stanza of the poem. If we ourselves cannot be gods, then there can be no gods. If we ourselves aren't heavenly nymphs, the nymphs are not elsewhere. Here, the poet uplifts humanism. He tells that if we ourselves cannot be gods, there can be no gods. The meaning of this one is, according to the poet, human beings are gods, or humans are gods. How human beings can become gods? By their good deeds. They can attain divinity. And the poet tells us that gods are humans. So human beings, we ourselves means human beings are gods. If we ourselves aren't heavenly nymphs, the nymphs are not elsewhere. Means human beings are gods and nymphs, we ourselves are heavenly nymphs. So according to the poet, humans are gods and nymphs. So next stanza of the poem. Here in this stanza, the poet describes beauty in nature. While this roaring stream rushes fast, rolling surf at the edge of waves, the tender sunshine leans on verdant gardens, and then the gentle sun make this earth heaven. While this roaring stream rushes fast, so this picture we are going to see the stream rushing very fast. So the noise that comes out of the fast flowing water, there we are going to hear roaring sound. So the poet refers, he is just observing and absorbing the beauty here. He observes the beauty of nature. He tells that common human beings we observe, but here, after observation, he just tells us that these streams which are running fast, it is going to make a sound, roaring stream. So he finds heaven in these things. A rolling surf here when waves hit the shore, then surf is formed at the edge of the waves. Then afterwards, when the waves resides, there will be hissing sound. So this is the beauty of nature. The poet tells us how beautiful that scene is when the surf is formed and the water gets receding and the hissing sound is heard. So he says, rolling surf at the edge of waves. Then the tender sunshine leans on verdant gardens. Here, when the morning sun beams falls on the verdant garden, rich green in color gardens. So that time the leaves blushes. We see how beautiful the garden will look. It is a very wonderful scene to witness at. And then the gentle sun. So these things, these four things, the poet describes beauty in nature and he tells that these things make this earth a heavenly place. It is a heaven. Which are those four things? Roaring streams, a rolling surf, tender sunshine leaning on the verdant gardens, and the gentle sun makes this earth a heavenly place. So earth becomes heaven. So in next stanza, poets Kuvempu tells us that how the poet creates heaven on earth. Splendor of harvest and of moonlight. So here the harvest, the farmer does cultivation. So during harvest time, when the crops are high in the field, that scene golden in color. So that is splendor of harvest and of moonlight. Moonlight means moonlit night. So there will be what we call it illumination. So under the moonlit night, many people, yes, they entertain themselves. So here he says, in the splendor of the harvest and the moonlit night, heaven lies all over. Heaven, the farmer with his hard work, he creates heaven on earth. Moon, by its moonlight, it creates heaven on earth. So heaven lies all over. Then next, imbibing and spilling the song of nectar, the poet does create heaven on earth. Here, imbibing means observing and spilling the song of nectar, usually honeybee. Honeybee, it collects nectar from the flower and it deposits in the beehive. So then after that, the product is honey. Similarly, here poet, he after absorbing, he imbibes, he absorbs the beauty of nature, and that beauty of nature he spills in his art. He translates it into a poem. The poet, by writing the poems, he creates heaven on earth. So he says, imbibing and spilling the song of nectar. Song of nectar, here's the beauty of nature. So here metamorphical, how the poet Kuvempu compares the poet to a honeybee. The poet does create heaven on earth. So heaven, it is a kingdom of happiness. To conclude the poem, happiness is not an alien thought, but a state of mind and soul that one has to consciously cultivate. So Here, a stop. This completes the poem. Thank you.